Hello guys, I'm back and I've got a cold. I'm here with more Seraphim action. Let's see what level we're at now. .42, nearly 43. I've just landed a glass greatsword of lightning. It's awesome. And it pretty much makes these other two worthless. So we're going to be dumping those two pretty shortly. Bye. They did me proud, they were great. But this little beastie is what we want. Not much has changed in the armour department. I've had pretty shitty luck with glass. We've upgraded to Gildan there. Gilded? So that's just given us a bit of an armour boost. And we're still clinging onto that little fucker. Hoping to get something better. Skills, still not taking concentrated poison. Alchemy's at 95. Destruction, I went through and made her a frost specialist, but we're moving into lightning now. Ready for necromancy and restoration, and very nearly ready for Atronach in alteration, so not far. Gonna start working my way up the tree in light armour too. So it's all looking pretty positive. There's pretty much always a really good perk to take. It's pretty frustrating. So for now we're just going to work with these two swords. And you can see there's very little difference between the two. So it's basically aesthetics. Which is fine because I'm happy in my Elven. I'll hang in there until I find some decent glass. Looking at some alchemy now, I'm just going to quickly go through the potions that have stood out as being important, and the first one's obviously Fortified Destruction. That one's been awesome. Noticed something interesting with alchemy as well on this playthrough, which has never stood out before. Here's your Fortified Two-Handed. I'll just use this one. It's fast to make, and the ingredients are easily picked up. And this one's just a beast. 200 damage and paralysis for 10 seconds. It's a clean sweep. Now this one's just interesting. Take a look at this as I'm putting it up. 60 seconds, and now 90 seconds. So this is my farmer / dragon resistance potion, and where's that 90 seconds coming from? It's getting a 50% duration bonus from somewhere, and I don't know where. Someone tell me. I'm genuinely interested. And this one has just been awesome, mostly because there you go, creeps and jazzbay can be harvested in huge amounts, and that's boosting shouts, it's boosting weapon damage, it's boosting cloak damage, all spell damage. It's just brilliant. And if I haven't got one that I've always got torch bugs to go back to make it up, and I don't complicate it often, but you can mix in a third ingredient if you want, but I prefer to stick to the normal ones usually. But I've got some skeever tails there which make it epic. And Although they can't be harvested in great amounts, they're the ones you really want. So we're going to make a bunch of those, and they'll last us ages. Weakness to magic is just a brilliant poison, so definitely have a play with that one if you haven't before. Next we're going to look at some of the abilities for the shouts, which I've picked up and I ran on the last playthrough, and I want to go through them a little bit more on this one. Just some observations about them. The first one is Dragonborn Flame. That's the one that I picked up on my first playthrough, which spawns basically a fire wraith when you kill something. It's highly situational though. You know, you have to kill something, and by the time you killed everything, the wraiths are there, but there's nothing else to kill, so you have to find the perfect situation. The major downfall about it is that it requires all 3 words. You need to use the full shout, and that's 100 seconds then to wait until you can do it again. And that turned out to be the major bummer with that one. When it works, it's amazing. When it doesn't, it's a waste of time, and it's a waste of the shout. So Dragonborn Frost was the one I was interested in. This one automatically looks like the better version anyway. That's a 15-second paralysis with the breath. All the recharge is the same, but there's a major difference here, and that's that you can use that ability with just 1 word. So you can paralyse for 15 seconds, and the recharge is only 30. And that's with no cost reduction. There are some downsides, which I'll get to later, but that is still the better one of the 2, and I haven't tested the first. Just looking at some of these other stone abilities here, they've both been buffed by the destruction perks, so they're awesome. The only problem is you have to keep coming back to pick them up again, but they're so much fun. And they do respond to fortified destruction as well. Let's look at that now. That's huge damage, and that is immense damage. What's that, 500 damage almost? They're great, and obviously they don't have to be pre-charged like the master spells, so you can mix them in with combos and just have a bit of fun with them, but yeah, you will have to go back to the stones to pick them up again. Other abilities that have started to show up a little bit more, it depends on the encounter, but you know, some enemies like this, I ran into this Night Lord, didn't really want to fight her head on, so I've used the Voice of the Emperor staying active right the way through, because it works on vampires, and some of the high level vampires are beasts. So you know, Voice of the Emperor will stay active. Face plant. That's right. Down. So yeah, there's some enemies that you still don't want to take a chance with, even at level 40 odd. And Night Lord is one of them, and Briarhearts are definitely one of them, and even some of the Forsworn Ravagers as well. You really don't want to mess with them, so that combination will save the day every time, as it always has done. It's a bit of lightning storm action. The problem with this shout is dragons really fucking hate it, and they piss off. Look, this one's he's just thought fuck that, and he's pissed right off. He may have crash landed somewhere. So we've come to this shithole now. We're looking to pick up the third word of Animal Allegiance, just because I'm a bit greedy and I'm a bit of a completionist, and I don't like having shouts that haven't been finished off. So we'll be fighting some undead in here, and you know, mixing up the elements a little bit. Lots of that annoying toggling that you guys don't like.
First, I need you to clear the main chamber of those monstrosities. I'll stay here until you're finished. Oh, I didn't see you there.
You dumb bitch. So she's been a lot of fun so far. We've had some good luck with some of the items and bad luck in other areas. But yeah, I've been running her mostly with Frost, because although it's the most commonly resisted element, it's just so cool. I just love the deep freeze perk. Don't like these fellas very much. So there's that Frost, and it's just kicking in with the first word, so it can be used again so quickly. It's very, very overpowered. But there is a weakness to it, which I want to discuss a little bit more shortly. He's down again. Okay, so the main problem with it is that it seems to give enemies a huge armor rating. I'd say it caps their armor rating. And what I'm wondering is if the mace perk, you know, Bone Breaker, would override that somehow. Because if so, that could be an extremely powerful build. Yeah, someone could do a test in that. They also get magic resistance when they've been frozen like that, which is annoying. But it's still hugely useful. And you know, if you spike them with a weakness to magic or poison first,
killed them all yet. Then
it'll last a bit longer.
Follow me.
Oh, look. It's just gorgeous. I love them. You have to be running a very odd character to be able to pull off weaponry like that.
There must be a way to activate these doors deeper in the ruins.
Without feeling like a tard.
It should open the doors on either side of the chamber.
So, going to be running a bit of Stendar's Aura with this side. And I do a lot of switching around with the elements for this bit. I love Stendar's Aura. It's not hugely effective. You know, I've only just realised that undead aren't weak to fire. I always thought, I've thought for years they are, but they're not. Apparently, anyway. they have the frost resistance, and that's about it. But they don't like Stendar's aura, which is nice. Again, guys, if anyone knows why that potion combination is getting a 50% duration boost, let me know, because I've never noticed that before, and I've used that potion a ton of times. With destruction being at 100 now, I can just use these swords for hours. The charge on them lasts forever. And she's got 42% cost reduction as well, which is helping. So you can see the damage resistance is a pain. So I'll be very interested to see what a mace class can do with that. There's potentially something very powerful in there somewhere if someone's got time to test it, which I don't at the moment. Plus I hate maces. Ben C asked me about them earlier. He mentioned wanting to work on a mace build. So, you know, that could be the key. That could be something really special. This potion is awesome. It clears them out mega quick. That's a bit of my usual overkill. Great critical charge as well. That's a great perk, it really is. Especially when combined with a huge stamina reserve, which this character definitely has. Tons of stamina. I really do enjoy alchemy. You know, if it's just alchemy that you're using, and not smithing and enchanting. You know, 95% of the time you're just running a normal build with no crafting skills. And, you only pull out the potions when you really need to. It's a fun way to play. Gives you a little more confident. So I'm dumping in stamina still here. Health at 400. I'm still leaving lots of things behind. So, sorry Tekam and Phil. They really hate that I don't pick up everything. Thing is, with 95 alchemy now, I can turn a blade of grass into 1,000 gold. There's really no point in ferrying things around all the time. Big bastards. I finally upgraded from novice healing. I was just running that until about level 30. Even if they fixed marked for death, it would still always be a hugely powerful shout. Most things are dead before its duration's expired anyway. So I always tend to use it for its intended purpose, and I get on just fine. Magicka's still an issue for that aura. But you know, she's tanking okay now, even in Elven armour. Elven Gilded. I believe they fixed Elven Gilded when it came to the matching set perk. Well, I looked at it anyway and I was getting a decent armor boost, so I presume they are working properly now. Lightning really is the king of elements. Okay, so that's one bit done. Nice. So it's time to take Disintegrate, which is It's such a fun perk to use with the cloak. You know, things just falling apart around you is epic. You know, and a magic supply isn't great, but we're able to pre-buff pretty well. Yeah. Just looks great as well, and sounds pretty painful. Oh, he would have skimmed his ass with it. I just love it. So having the cloak going is just making sure things die that bit quicker. Oh, I've got such a cold. It sucks. I don't know about you guys, I can never get tired of that shout. So destruction potion will extend the range of the cloak, which is good. I don't know whether it also hits the damage level of it. Can't remember now. It's only a little anyway. Huh?
The treasure is mine, all mine.
Greedy bitch. Down. Penetrated with spikes. And that's our third word. All done. Okay guys, thanks very much for watching. I'll try and get some more of these done soon.